One of the best go-to characters in movies, for me, has always been gladiators. Some were slaves, some were free men, but all were in the business of living at the expense of others dying. It's a solid dramatic character. So today, we're going to find some gladiator weird on today's episode of 5 Weird Things. Welcome to the channel. Kirk Douglas as Spartacus is my favorite when it comes to gladiators. And before you ask, I have seen the movie Gladiator. Now, what is your favorite film or character concerning gladiators? Got an opinion? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's get into it. First, the things we should all know. A Roman gladiator was an ancient professional fighter who usually specialized in particular weapons and types of armor. They fought before the public in hugely popular organized games held in large purpose-built arenas throughout the Roman Empire from 105 BCE to 404 BCE. Weird thing number 5. The biggest and best gladiator movies. Gladiator came out in 2000. Director Ridley Scott, starring Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, and Connie Nielsen. The story follows Maximus Decimus Viridius, a betrayed Roman general who becomes a gladiator to seek revenge against the corrupt emperor who murdered his family. This film won multiple Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Russell Crowe. It's in my top 10 movies of all time. Spartacus, 1960. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, starring Kirk Douglas, Lawrence Oliver, and Gene Simmons. Based on the historical figure Spartacus, the film depicts the leader of a slave uprising against the Roman Republic. Known for its epic scope and powerful performances, it is a classic in the genre and one of my favorite old films. Ben-Hur came out in 1959. Directed by William Wyler, starring Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, and Stephen Boyd. While not exclusively about gladiators, Ben-Hur follows an iconic chariot race that is one of the most famous action sequences in film history. The story follows a Jewish prince who is betrayed and sent into slavery by a Roman friend. The Eagle, 2011. Director Kevin MacDonald, starring Channing Tatum, Jamie Bell, and Donald Sutherland. This film tells the story of a young Roman officer who sets out to find the lost eagle standard of his father's legion in the north of Britain. It delves into the themes of honor and loyalty in the Roman Empire. And finally, Pompeii, 2014. Director Paul W.S. Anderson, starring Kit Harington, Emily Browning, and Kiefer Sutherland. Set against the backdrop of the eruption of Mount Vesuvius, this film follows a gladiator named Milo who fights to save his beloved Cassia and his friend from the devastating event. The movie combines romance, action, and historical drama. Weird thing number 4, the gladiator diet. Gladiators primarily consumed a diet rich in carbs. This included grains like barley, wheat, and oats, which were crucial for providing the energy needed for their intense physical training and combat. Contrary to the common perception that they might have consumed a lot of meat to build muscle, their diet was relatively low in animal protein. Instead, they relied more on plant-based proteins such as legumes, such as beans and lentils. Gladiators drank a concoction made from the ashes of plants, and this drink was rich in calcium and helped in strengthening their bones, which was essential for their survival in the arena. Evidence suggests that gladiators followed what could be considered a vegetarian diet. The reliance on grains, legumes, and vegetables indicated that a diet that was more plant-based compared to the typical Roman diet, which included a lot more meat. The food consumed by gladiators were designed to be nutrient-dense to maintain their health and stamina. Foods like barley porridge and soups were staples, providing essential vitamins and minerals necessary for their rigorous lifestyle. Weird thing number 3. Who became gladiators? A significant number of gladiators were slaves or prisoners of war. Captured during Roman conquests, and there were a lot of conquests, they were forced into the gladiator schools, known as ludi, where they were trained to fight. Convicted criminals could be sentenced to become gladiators. This was seen as a form of punishment, and they often had to fight until death as a form of execution. Some individuals volunteered to become gladiators, known as auctorati. These were often freemen who chose the profession due to financial desperation, the promise of fame, or the allure of potential prize money. Although rare, some women became gladiators, known as gladiatrices. These female fighters participated in the same brutal contests as their male counterparts, though their presence was often seen as a novelty. Some former soldiers, especially those who had fallen on hard times or were seeking a new form of glory, became gladiators. Their military training could give them an edge in the arena. Weird thing number 2. The gladiator training academies. Gladiator schools, known as ludi, had a strict and rigorous training regimen. Trainees underwent intense physical training, including combat techniques, strength building, and endurance exercises. They practiced with wooden weapons to minimize injury during training. Gladiator schools had a clear hierarchy and specialized training programs. Recruits were classified and trained according to different types of gladiators, such as the heavily armored Murmillo, the lightly equipped Rhetarius, and the agile Thrax. Each type had its own fighting style, armor, and weapons. Gladiators lived in barracks within the school, often under harsh conditions. They were closely monitored and lived a disciplined life with limited freedom. Despite this, they received good medical care and a diet designed to maintain their health and physical condition. This led to them being in better health than the average citizen. Gladiator schools were often owned by wealthy individuals known as lanistae. These owners invested in the training and upkeep of their gladiators and profited by renting them out for games and events. Successful lanistae could become quite wealthy and influential. The most famous gladiator school was the Ludus Magnus in Rome, located near the Colosseum. It was the largest and most well-equipped of the schools, with facilities including training arenas, living quarters, and medical facilities. And finally, weird thing number 1, the political side. Now, politicians and emperors sponsored gladiatorial games to gain popularity and the support of the masses. These public spectacles were a way to entertain the populace and win their favor. Gladiator games were often used to distract the public from political issues, economic problems, or military defeats. By providing grand entertainment, leaders could shift attention away from their shortcomings. Sponsoring lavish gladiatorial games was a way for politicians to demonstrate their power, their wealth, their generosity. The more extravagant the games, the greater the perceived influence of the sponsor. The games reinforced social hierarchies and Roman values, such as bravery, strength, and loyalty. They served as a tool for social control, promoting the idea that the ruling class could provide for and protect the people. Gladiatorial games could be used for sending political messages. For example, specific themes or narratives in the games could celebrate military victories, honor deceased leaders, or symbolize the strength and unity of the Roman Empire. Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you liked it. Please like, subscribe, and share the video. Feel free to click on more of my videos to get a little more weird in your day. And for those still watching, today's code word is Colosseum. Put that down in the comments to reserve your seats because it is first come, first serve. Take care and have a great day.